Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We're coming to you live here from our studio in South Florida, bringing you our first impression session of our Spotlight stream, where we go over games that are just coming out into the biz. And tonight we had the pleasure of showing off Zombie Tsunami by Lucky Duck Games. It's currently available in retail now, so definitely go check that out there, guys. First, though, let's get a brief recap of what Zombie Tsunami is. Josh, can you give that to us?
It's a takeoff of the mobile game, Zombie Tsunami, where you play as zombies and you jump over obstacles and you eat people to make more zombies, and it's a spin off of that, and it does a pretty good job with that. And the objective of the game is to have the most zombies.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
The objective of the game is to have the most zombies.
Okay.
Or the most salt.
No, that's just you. So we showed this off in our Spotlight section. We did 2 playthroughs of the game, and typically what we do is the first person to talk about this game is the winner. Ann and I both won this evening, and since you were the first winner, I'm going to let you go first.
So things that I really liked about this game. Usually take-that style games are not my forte, and I didn't necessarily feel that this game fit into the category of take-that because I felt like there was a lot of sufficient enough randomness and chance that whether or not you stole a zombie or two throughout the game, it really wasn't PvP. It really wasn't player versus player. And I think that kind of softens the blow when you get something stolen that, well, you had just enough chance if you had rolled your zombies and gotten face-up ones when you're doing the jumps and died. So I like the fact that the game is, it's fun, it's light, it's quick.
It's definitely quick. When we did our first playthrough, rules explanation and playthrough was about an hour, and typically what we do is we look at the play time of the game and double it, and that's our prospective play time.
Yeah.
What is the actual box
Box
time?
says 30 minutes.
There you go. Took an hour. It's like math works or something. So some aspects that I really like about this game, and I'm going to jump right to the rulebook, because this game does something kind of nice here where there's next to no text on the cards. The only cards that really have text are the hidden objective cards, and they've just got your goal here. Otherwise, all the other cards are just pictures, and I'm going to switch over to the board cam here for just a second. And so you can actually see the cards that are laid out on the screen, and I'm going to zoom in just a tad there. You can see that there is no text, it's just all pictorial, and what the rulebook does extremely well is the rulebook shows exactly what all of the pictures mean for the individual cards. So here's just a little example here. So this is just the section for the shop cards. It shows you what each shop card does, it gives you a breakdown of it, and it's extremely clear. I mean, it's not like you even needed this for the most part. There's maybe 2 or 3 cards that you did, but the game does a great job of pictorially explaining what the cards do without the need for language, which I know that this game is released in several different language markets, so I know that that's obviously a nice perk when you don't have to translate the game very much.
Yeah.
So Josh, how about you?
So, before the stream, I've never played Zombie Tsunami, the mobile game. I played it the last day and had some fun with it. And it captures the flavor of that game pretty well. I think it did a really good job with that. The cubes are adorable.
The cubes are
really
so adorable.
And
the art style is adorable in general.
I apologize in advance because the cubes are solid green except for the little printed zombie faces.
Put it on my face.
All you're going to see is Zombie Ann. But that's what the cube is it's printed on... that's not creepy at all. So it's printed on a green cube, and one face is the zombie face, and that's going to be basically your go, no-go, depending on what the objective is. So sometimes if the face is shown, it's going to either kill your zombie, or it's going to allow you to get perks like get a coin, get an additional zombie, something to that effect. So just the 1 in 6 chance that the cube is doing.
I actually think that the cube zombies are cuter than the zombies in the actual mobile game.
I agree. And I like that they carried it over to the rest of the
Yes.
artwork, and they made the actual zombies... It's all green, so it's all green screening. But all the zombies on the cards are cube zombies. All the zombies on the board are cube zombies. There's not actual, like, humanoid zombies like from the mobile game. I thought that was a cute little touch there.
Yeah.
Another thing that I like, and I think Ann touched about it briefly, is the fact that it is a take-that style game, but it balances that with the required teamwork aspect of it.
Yeah.
So For the most part, you do need to rely on some other people being on your team, and there's basically the negotiation, social engineering, team building element, which you could throw in a little bit of the backstabbing in there, as you saw during the spotlight. We did as well, where we would tell people we're going on one team and then switch over to another team because we wanted to screw them over because there are penalties if you don't pass. So it lightened up the take thatness of the game for me.
Yeah. Definitely.
I really like the secret objective cards.
Yeah.
I would have
liked to have seen more, but at the same time, you said that there were more. It's just that they're
Yeah.
specific
So-
for.
We have the ninja.
So let's show off. How do you know when to put these in?
The book says there's a section in the rulebook that say which ones to use where.
Okay.
So on 3 players, it says which one's 4, 5, and 6.
So the ninja here is be in the smallest group of players or alone, and you're going to gain 2 zombies, but also no zombies die.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So it's good for a push.
How many of these cards are there in toto?
There's 8 with the expansion. 7 normally, 8 with the expansion.
So the expansion it's just 1.
Yeah.
So we played with half of the available
Yeah.
cards.
The interesting one is there's a dragon head and dragon tail.
Okay. So the dragon head, goal is find who owns the tail. Reward is 2 zombies.
Ooh.
Tail, find who owns the head. 2 zombies.
That's
So
neat.
How do you resolve that?
So how it works, so I was just checking the rulebook now, that was what I was looking at. If I have the tail and I think Matt has the head, I'm like, Matt, you have the head. And then either I'm right or I'm wrong. But say I was wrong and you don't have the head,
Yeah. Then the person with the head knows who has it.
and has it, she automatically says,
Now, if I did have the head, though, would I still get mine because obviously I know who has the tail?
it's whoever finds it first.
Oh, okay. So it's a game.
That's kind of cute. It's a game in a game.
But again, one of them might be off to the side, you'll never know who it is.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So that's in a 5-player game.
I can see why they
Plus,
don't put that in a.
You don't put it in a 3-player game because it's just too much. And then there's the expansion
Oh, jeez.
Mecha,
Okay, so
which
Mecha
is similar to the Giant Z.
So you're gonna bomb a civilian successfully, but you get 2 Zombird cards
Yeah.
instead of 2 zombies. So it's gonna give you a little bit more flexibility in your strategy moving forward. I like that a lot.
You just like it because it's got a robot.
I do.
But yeah, so there's a bunch of different cards. It doesn't really say what to do with that one, like how to add it in. I guess you could just do it however you see fit.
Yeah.
I would probably switch it out with the Giant Z because they're
Too similar to
Similar.
each
they're
other.
very similar to each other. But
Unless you're playing a full 8-player game. It only goes up to 6, right?
yeah, it goes up to 6.
Okay.
So,
So is there any other positives that you guys want to talk about Zombie Tsunami?
We touched on the art. We touched on the feel of the game. It's quick, light, fun. I feel like this would be an easy game for even my kids to play. I noticed the box said that the player age is 14 and up, and I was kind of confused about that, but I've been sitting here thinking about it, and I guess the reason I would say that it would be 14 and up is maybe the zombies and the explosions and whatnot. I don't see somebody like my youngest is 9, and I don't see a problem with him playing that.
other part of that is testing for kids and stuff like that. Once you put 14 plus, you don't have to do all that stuff.
Component testing.
Component
To
testing.
make sure it's a choke hazard,
So
not a
choking
choke hazard.
hazards and all that stuff.
I would be more worried about either of you two sticking one of the dice in your mouth than my kids.
You know, it happens.
There's no dice. There's cubes.
I'm sorry.
All right, so
Or beads.
getting into the constructive criticisms aspect of the game. Any aspects of the game that maybe you weren't a fan of that you have a suggestion to how you would tweak it?
I'd like to go first.
Yeah.
We touched on this briefly during the gameplay. I really enjoyed these event cards where you had to have a certain thing come up, and if that
This would be
situation manifests, that was the wrong card to grab. I should not have done that. If the situation had manifested, you would get something. This is not getting any better.
A lot of the cards are yellow and green, so the
Yep.
green's been pretty good. But this one is if you get a coin, instead of getting the coin, you can choose not to get it and get a Zombird card instead.
And this is for the Zombird expansion, which does come with the regular game. I would have liked to have seen more event cards. Not a ridiculous amount of event cards, but I would have liked to have seen an event card. Oh, the board cam's not up. You have 3 maybe somewhere in here, like a mini event or something. I really feel like the event cards added some flavor, or maybe this event card was, is good for this section and this event card is good for that section. I just think it'd mix things up a little bit more.
So make it so you don't have so many events back to back.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Well, or that, we had one event for the full round, so maybe not so many. I don't want one after each event, but I would like to see some more variety in the game.
Okay. Josh, how about you?
I got attacked in the second game.
What?
And I got down to literally nothing.
Who?
And
Who did that?
it happened to have at least a decent rubber band effect where I was able to get back in, and
It does.
I didn't feel. I kind of felt bad, like
I
when it
saw that you
happened.
you got a little deflated there at one point in the game.
yeah.
Did you pick up on that?
But the recovery wasn't that bad. Like there was no runaway. I don't think there was a runaway leader, so I think that was okay. And I was actually able to get back up into competing with you guys.
I was down for that second round, but I was playing like a jerk, and I think I accepted at one point that
Yeah, you weren't playing to win.
I wasn't playing to win.
Because there's better moves you could have done, and you probably could have done a lot better.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I think that I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of the secret objective cards, just because we only played with 4 of them. The fact that the game limits which one you add in, I get why it limits the ones that you can add in.
Right.
I wish that there was more for the smaller player count game, so you're not limited to the 4 cards.
Yep.
And we saw the same ones a couple times over each. You got the Tsunami, I think, 4 times in a row at one point.
Out of 5, I think how many times did we play? We played 6 times.
Yeah.
I got the Tsunami 5 times.
That's ridiculous.
5 out of 6. I also
Granted,
flipped over
that's
the
very
1.
against the odds statistically, but
Lucky me.
I'm
I'm gonna go play Lotto.
I would like to have
one-
seen a little
one.
bit different there. Maybe a little bit more variety in the actual event cards, the action cards. But there's, I get what they're going for. The game itself is the game that it's based off of. The mobile game is extremely simplistic.
Yeah.
It's a tap and jump game.
Yep.
So you really can't even fault the game for that, because this is an adaptation of that. So you can only go so far with the source material. So, and I think they did a very good job of staying fairly faithful to it.
The
as well.
one thing which is kind of nice, there's one extra round 2 and 3 card, so you don't know every single card that's gonna you can't figure out what the last card is.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wouldn't have minded an extra round 1 card, so you
Don't see every single card in there.
Yeah.
every single first round.
Yeah. So there was the first game where we were familiar with the setup, and was like, well, what if we get another push? And you're like, I know we're not going to.
I know there's only 2.
Yeah.
And you can still get that with if there's 7 cards instead of 6, but you're not gonna know for sure what that last one is.
Yeah.
And be able to change it a little bit, with a little bit more randomness in that one spot.
I honestly don't really have many other gripes about the game. I think the game itself, it's light. It's very light. It's a filler, and I think that's exactly what it's going for because of the game that it's based off. Because that is the kind of game that is a filler game.
Yeah.
You're playing it on your phone when you've got a spare 2 minutes.
Yep.
It's not a game where you set aside time in your day to play it.
No.
It's just a game where you happen to have time, and you're like, hey, I could play this now.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fun, and it's addictive, and it's meant to be light and fun and addictive and entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
So any other constructive criticisms that either of you two have?
No, that's it for me.
All right, so then back into the most important question of the evening, and that is, would you play this game again? Josh?
Yes, and I would be very interested to play this in a 5-6 player game. With I think a lot more going on and a lot more. Because trying to figure out who had the Tsunami.
It was not hard quest. It was me.
Yeah.
Each time.
But a little bit more stuff in there.
But it's all right, either one of you have it, and I need to team up with one of you or all of you. If you're in a 5 or 6 player game, I could team up with probably 2 people.
Yeah.
And have a less chance of one of them being it and things like that. And where that kind of traitorous, I'm going to go on this team and switch up or I'm just going to randomly pick a team. I ended up on someone's team.
Right. And you really, it's almost impossible to do that in a 3-player game.
Yeah.
And how about you?
I don't know if I would like this game in a 5 or 6 player game, especially if the cards aren't changing, because then it's going to, I mean, you're all starting off with the same number of zombies, so it's not as if more players means that each individual person has less zombies. So to get a 12 or a 16 challenge is going to be much easier to overcome.
But you're still going to need like teams of 2 or 3 to do it.
I need teams of 2 or 3 at 3 people
Okay,
either.
but
Are you arguing with me about my opinion?
I'm not.
Are you mansplaining my opinion? Shush! But I do enjoy this game. I think you're having a real rough time. Go ahead. Say it. You know you want to. You're so rude.
Go for it.
So I really enjoyed playing this with the 3 players. I too would have liked to have seen more objective cards. But yeah, I would definitely play this as a filler game again. Yeah.
So I'm going to flip the script on exactly what you just said there. And I think this is what Josh was going for. And it just happens to be the same point that I have, where I don't think I would play this again in the 3-player variant just because there was a little bit too much predictability. And if you got something really strong, it's the everyone, oh, we have to play nice now and all team up together to take out the bad guy. And I thought that was kind of boring, to be completely honest. And I think that in the 5 to 6 player variant, the super hard threats still allow you to get into the bartering system of trying to see who you're going to help, trying to guess other people's teams, and even luck yourself into a successful team when that's not exactly possible with some of the tougher variants in the 3-player game. So I think that I'd be much more interested in playing it in the 5 and 6 player variant. I think I would play it again in that variant.
Why are you smiling?
But yeah, so I would play it again in a larger group setting.
Fine.
Hey, everyone has their opinion. That's
You're right.
fine.
That's why there's 3 of
we do
us.
This.
Their opinion is wrong.
Why is the answer salty now?
All right. So does either of you two have any additional comments that you would like to make on Zombie Tsunami?
I really want one of those I want one of the cubes, and I just want it blown up. I think it is absolutely adorable.
Like a plushie pillow?
Like, you know what I want? Like a hacky sack. I want a hacky sack zombie that looks like this.
she's not even paying attention.
I could see you with these like as couch pillows, as the cube couch pillows on your couch, like your dog laying with one, like their head on top of one, with the zombie face sticking out from underneath.
It'd be Jack.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's it this evening. So thank you all for joining us today. This has been our first impression session of our spotlight of Zombie Tsunami by Lucky Duck Games. Stay tuned for all of our upcoming streams, and if you haven't had a chance, go take a look at our video on demand of the spotlight for Zombie Tsunami, currently available in retail. But for now, this is going to be Twist Gaming signing off. I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
I'm Josh.
And this stream and all of this week's streams were brought to you by Zombie Tsunami by Lucky Duck Games. Good night, everyone.
Good night.